Let's take a quick look at news of a different nature. We're going to go to Florence Villeminot. It's going to take us through the front pages this morning. And of course, the big story today is the death of pop icon Prince, one of the most prolific artists to date, really.
That's right. Tributes are really pouring out across the world. I had to just make a selection because there's so many.
So many of them.
So many. Let's start with the front page of The New Yorker, the magazine from New York. This is actually their cover for next week. I think it's one of my favorite things I've seen today. You can see their tribute, very simple here. Purple Rain, of course, yes. Perhaps one of Prince's greatest hits. Rollingstone, the American music magazine, also sums up a feeling coming across in many papers today. Prince, nothing compared to him. Of course, that was a hit song that he wrote, actually, but was made famous by Sinead O'Connor. So that's Rolling Stone saying that Prince spent nearly 40 amazing years on the front lines as one of the most brilliant and unpredictable artists in the game. He changed how music felt and sounded, and the article ends with, "Rest in Purple, Prince."
Now he was, an incredible artist. He won 7 Grammy Awards, didn't he? Even an Academy Award. And the Washington Post is calling him pop perfection.
That's right. The Washington Post says he was one of the most enigmatic superstars, a mysterious, inventive chameleon of music. He was so many things. He was a songwriter, a musician, a producer, a choreographer, a showman. He never stopped evolving as well. And he crossed musical boundaries as well. He did, hard rock, funk, jazz, and he always did it in his own special, original way. Now, the Wall Street Journal calls him a protean rock god, so that's something that assumes different forms, right? And they say that he's a musical genius, and there seemed to be no end to the source of his creativity. He was arguably one of the greatest rock and pop musicians of his generation, and his death, his quite early death, deals really a huge blow to fans and the music industry in general.
Yeah, it came as a massive shock, didn't it? Well, many of the papers are paying tribute to the fact that he broke so many boundaries on and off stage.
That's right. The New York Times defines him this way in their obituary: an artist who defined genre, a man bursting with music, a virtuoso artist who created music that defining genres and also gender. There's a very interesting article in The Guardian today that really says something that's coming across in many papers as well, that Prince broke all the rules about what Black American men should be. The musical genius captivated both men and women with his high heels and playful sexuality, and he refused to be anyone's slave. And the article goes on to say that he was really ahead of his time in embracing what is amorphous and not easily categorized. It's beautiful and yet unknown.
Of course, when a music icon dies, we grieve with headphones on. But this is especially hard to do with Prince.
That's right.
It?
If you're looking for music online to listen to, you'll find that it's actually quite hard to find his music, actually. Let's take a look at an article in the Daily Beast that explains why you can't listen to Prince's music after his death. Well, a lot of it has to do with the fact that he was a pioneer in defending artists' rights. Throughout his career, he battled against record label tyranny. That's the way they say it. And he really championed artist rights, and that's exactly why today you might have some difficulty finding his music online.
Okay, but tributes are still pouring in, though. Social media as well.
That's right. Once again, so much material that I had to make a selection. There's one image that's been shared a lot. You can see it here this is the Facebook page for the official Little Prince. The Little Prince just left us at 57. Really cute little drawing there. And so many tributes on Twitter as well. Just to show you the extent of this, NASA actually tweeted this photo and said a purple nebula in honor of Prince.
Gosh, you've made it when NASA's sending out tributes, aren't you? Well, it's obviously a big shock for Prince, but it's not just been Prince. 2016 has been a horrible year, hasn't it?
That's right. Vice magazine sums it up in perhaps the only way that Vice magazine could. Let's take a look at this article. I am not going to read it out loud. We actually blurred this because this is our France 24 policy, but you get the gist of this. 2016 has been quite a difficult year. David Bowie, Alan Rickman, and now Prince. The BBC has a very interesting article on why so many celebrities have died in 2016. Now, this is Roland Hughes who's writing this article. He says several factors are at play. First of all, there are more famous people than there used to be. And so a lot of them more of them are dying.
Yes.
And then there's the baby boom factor as well. Essentially, people who started becoming famous in the 60s and the 70s, etc., are now entering later stages in their life and starting to die. Will this carry on? The bad news is yes, it probably will. And let's just end with a cartoon that I found quite cute. This is the editorial cartoon for WCPO, a TV channel in Cincinnati. You can see a scene taking place in heaven here, two angels talking to each other. Go found Bowie. We're going to have one hell of a show. And this was posted with a famous quote from Prince. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
Oh, goodness. Well, that's certainly, as you're saying, a selection of a veritable wealth of tributes online. Thanks for taking us through the best of them, Florence Villeminot there.